Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Just Another Struggling Writer, the beleaguered author's one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. Well, today I am excited to announce a challenge I have been thinking about doing for a long time, probably like 6 or 9 months actually. And I just think that the start of the new year is the perfect time to kick it off. And that is the 90-day hard challenge for writers. Now, if you have been in the AuthorTube space at all over the last year, you've probably already heard of this challenge. I am definitely and perennially behind the bandwagon with these things. And once again, I am chasing this trend. But while I did consider jumping on the bandwagon with everyone else last year when all of these videos were blowing up, it just didn't feel like the right time for me specifically. However, I am a person who is energized by new beginnings and the new year specifically, and with my rededication and my commitment to a 5-year plan of becoming a full-time writer, I feel like starting off year one with a challenge like this, which is meant to build good habits and set oneself up for success, it just feels like this is the perfect moment to try a challenge like this. And like I said, these videos were all over the writing space on YouTube last year. I was specifically inspired by Lindsay. I will link her video of the challenge above if you want to kind of check it out. But if you're somehow not familiar with the 90-day hard challenge for writers, it is essentially based on what started as like a personal wellness challenge that featured working out, reading nonfiction, things of that nature. Many people, including Lindsay and others, adapted it for writing specifically. And I, like them, will be doing my own version that will be tailored specifically to my needs as a writer, my health goals, and what I think I can accomplish. And again, my goals for this challenge are to build good habits, but also just to improve my overall health. The original 90-day hard challenge and the 90-day hard challenge for writers that I will be attempting has some parameters. Many authors who undertook this challenge last year kind of played and dabbled with the parameters that they wanted to put on themselves. I know Lindsay had specific days that she was allowed to take off and whatnot without it counting against her. So while the original challenge had some hard and fast rules, the way that it has been adapted for the writing community means that it's more personal. So with that in mind, here are the parameters I am setting for myself. First off, I have 6 specific daily habits and activities that I need to perform every single day, including weekends. And again, this is a deviation from some authors' choices with their own challenges. They gave themselves weekends off. But for me, as someone who still has a day job and is not quite established as a writer yet, I do need to be utilizing my weekends to get writing done. And therefore, I am including weekends on this challenge. That being said, I do have some obligations coming up, particularly in this first quarter of the year, that I know will hinder my ability to meet this challenge. And so in the interest of fairness to myself, I've decided I'm going to give myself 5 cheat days. 5 days wherein if I don't get every single thing done, I am going to strike off a cheat day and not reset the challenge. And this is not to give myself an out, but just to accommodate the unexpected and the facts of life that not everything is going to go according to plan. And the fact that I am chaperoning my daughter on a choir trip to Albuquerque. We are taking a bus from DFW to Albuquerque, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to get some of this stuff done. And then I have to spend the night in the hotel with a bunch of other parents and then bus back. It's just going to be a time where I anticipate this challenge being really difficult to meet. And that wouldn't be fair to myself to make myself reset just because I've already committed to this obligation. So 5 cheat days. That being said, once I hit 5 cheat days, the next time I miss a task for the day, it will trigger a hard reset of the challenge. You're droopy, baby. And what that means is on the 6th day that I don't meet all 6 tasks, I will go back to day 1 and have to start the 90 days over again. And considering that that trip to Albuquerque that I mentioned is going to take 3 days, I really only have 2 left in my bag to rely on. So I am going to have to be very, very diligent and very, very committed to this challenge if I don't want to do a reset. Since this is a 90-day challenge, my hope and dream and goal is to have this complete by the first week of April. Whether or not that bears out, I hope you stick around to find out. Those are the parameters. Now let's talk about the specific tasks and goals that I have set for myself for every single day in order to complete this challenge. The first one is write 1,000 words every single day. 1,000 words is a very, very comfortable number for me. I know that I can do it, especially with the success of the ladder sprints that I started last month. 1,000 words is very, very doable. So even on days where I don't really have it in me to do a full ladder, or I'm just especially busy or especially mentally stressed, 1,000 words is about an hour's worth of work, and I can carve that out at the end of my evenings, usually. If not, I've got a lunch break I can work that in, or what have you. I also use a cloud-based word processor, so I'm able to get on my phone and do it. Essentially, there shouldn't be an excuse to not hit 1,000 words, unless it's one of those situations, like I said, where everything just culminates in just a big, horrible, no good day, and I can't find my way clear to get those 1,000 words, in which case I would have to use a cheat day. The second task that I am setting for myself is to read 25 pages of any book every single day. In the original 90-day challenge, this is specifically nonfiction, but as a writer who needs to be well-read in my genre, I am specifically leaving it open to just reading in general, but I will be focused on my fantasy TBR. Reading is something that has unfortunately fallen off over the last 6 months. I just came to the realization after I finished the first draft of Secrets of Empyrean that I could not do as much reading as I wanted and still be focused on my writing. And so I made the tough decision to kind of pare back my reading and pare back my content creation with regards to reading. And that freed up so much extra time that I was able to really focus more on my writing. The downside is because I deprioritized it, I've sort of kind of forgotten a lot about reading, and I haven't completed a book since September. I've picked up books and I've read pages here and there, but it's something that has definitely fallen by the wayside, and I do not think that is good for me as a writer, and it's definitely not good for me as a person who loves to read. With this 25 page per day goal, it's not a lot, but I'm hoping it'll just encourage me to read more when I do have time. That should only take me about half an hour. Again, very, very doable in a given day. The next task is a doozy, at least for me, and that is to walk 5,000 steps every day. And look, I know that the common wisdom is 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, so 5,000 shouldn't be that hard, but for me, I live a very sedentary lifestyle. I work in an office, a very small office at that, and then I come home and, I hang out at my house. I'm not a big exercise or fitness girly, and it just is what it is. I'm a homebody. I don't do a lot of moving around. That being said, I know that I need to be doing more. I have had some health challenges over the last year that has made me really aware of how little I exercise. 5,000 steps is really not that much. It's like a short walk, and that's what I should be doing every day anyway. So including this goal in this challenge is really supposed to help me be more forward thinking about my health. So we'll see how it goes. Similarly, the next habit I am trying to form with this challenge is to drink 90 ounces of water per day. Again, similar to the walking, I do drink a lot of soda. I'm not a big coffee person. My drink of choice is a Dr. Pepper. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm getting up off my couch or out of my chair at work to go get a drink, it is a soda, not water. And so my thought is, if I can replace half of the Dr. Pepper that I'm drinking with water, I think I will be in a lot better shape than I am, both figuratively and literally. Over the last couple of weeks, I have been testing it out, and I have found that 60 ounces of water is pretty doable at work specifically. I can drink a 30-ounce bottle in the morning and a 30-ounce bottle in the afternoon. My issue is when I arrive back at home, I am forgetting about the water completely. So I decided to make this part a little bit more challenging for myself and do 90 ounces a day. So that way I am encouraging myself to drink a 30-ounce bottle of water in the evenings as well. I think what I should probably do is fill this bottle up when I'm sitting down to write for my ladder sprints. I shouldn't be having a soda right before bed anyway. It just makes more sense this way. So 90 ounces of water every single day. Moving on, the next task I have set for myself is to do a daily tarot draw and journal every single day. And this is kind of the gimme habit because I'm already in a fairly regular habit of doing this. The biggest challenge for me is doing it on the weekends. I have a pretty good routine in the mornings when I am going to work, but on the weekends when things are more lackadaisical and less structured, I tend to forget about it. I get out of bed, I go to my computer, I don't really think about doing my tarot draw or my journaling. So this one is meant to just encourage me to make it more consistent and to do it every single day, because I have found that on days where I don't do my journal, especially on weekdays if I don't do it, I do feel sort of off and kind of adrift, and like I don't really have a focus, or like I just feel unmoored. And so by including it in this challenge again, I think it is just really encouraging self-care and tending to my mental health, even on days where I'm just laying around in bed or on my couch or whatever, and just making sure that it is a consistent part of my daily practice. And then finally, the last goal I have for this 90-day hard challenge is to edit videos for 30 minutes every single day. And if there is nothing to edit, which sometimes does happen, I do get caught up, then I will be doing at least 30 minutes of content planning per day. This is something that I realized like a month or two ago, where if I get up in the morning and use half an hour between the time I take a shower and the time I need to start getting ready for work to edit, I actually can stay on top of my editing, and I'm not like cramming in edits the night before a video was supposed to be due, which was really cutting into my writing routine. So by doing those in the morning or whenever I have time, not only will I be more consistent with my content production, but I'm also going to be more respectful of my writing time as well. So 30 minutes of video editing or content planning every single day. And those are the 6 goals and tasks I have to do every single day in order to complete this challenge. If I had to pick the easiest one, it would definitely be the tarot and journaling, again, because I'm already sort of semi in that habit. I just need to start shifting my mindset to be including it on the weekends and just make it a non-negotiable thing on the days where my mornings are non-standard, like if I have to go to a meeting or whatever. If I had to pick a hardest one, it would definitely be the steps. I have tried to sort of soft implement some of these goals over the last month just to see how feasible it will be. And the walking has been the one thing that has not made any single improvement since I have settled on this challenge for like the last 6 weeks. I am currently walking like 2,800 steps a day. Now, I'm not super in love with the step counter. I don't think it's totally accurate. Like, I went Christmas shopping like the weekend before Christmas, and I literally spent like 4 hours out and about, and it still counted less than 3,000 steps. So I do think there is a little bit of an issue with my step counter. I'm not really super sure how I'm gonna fix that. I did have a Fitbit for a while. I think that was a little bit more accurate, but my problem with my Fitbit is it doesn't talk to my phone, so it doesn't really, anyway, it just doesn't feel like totally accurate. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I would love recommendations for step counters that are a little bit more accurate. I do like this watch. This is just a generic like $30 smartwatch. I like it because I can get texts on it and I can answer my phone if I'm away from my phone for whatever reason. I don't necessarily want to go back to a Fitbit, but anyway, I would love suggestions, preferably budget suggestions that are still fairly accurate in the step counting department. That being said, what that means is that I'm probably going to have to overdo my steps in order to ensure that I hit that 5,000 on my step counter. That's going to be really hard because I just don't know where I'm going to fit it in. I'm already using my mornings for video editing. I'm using my late evenings for writing. I guess I could try and use my lunch break to go to the gym. I had a coworker that did that for a while. I am dubious that I could do that on a regular basis. The industry I work in is just the days are non-standard, and it's just so hard to be able to predict when I'm going to have lunch breaks and when, at what time. And anyway, I'm often working through them, or I'm getting a phone call. Anyway, so I don't know that I love that idea. My thought is that maybe as soon as I get home from work, throwing on like some sweats and my shoes and just like taking the dog for a walk, maybe. Again, the hard part will be just navigate, if that's what I end up doing, just slotting that in amongst like parenting obligations, because there are gonna be times where I'm not getting home right at 5 o'clock. Or anyway, that is definitely the one I am the most nervous about. And honestly, if it gets to be like 3 weeks and I am not consistently hitting that number, I may restart the challenge with a lower number, maybe like 3,500, just to like start increasing it slowly. Anyway, we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm really, really nervous about one. If I had to predict a reason for failure, that would definitely be the one. So that's pretty much it for the challenge. I'm really nervous, but I'm also kind of looking forward to it. I probably won't be updating you guys on a regular basis. I probably will just include how the challenge went for the month in my cozy reset videos, but I also may periodically check in with a short here and there. So I hope you look forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe or consider leaving a comment down below. I have some ways you can support me in the description, including my Ko-Fi and my Etsy page. I hope you check those out if you're interested. In my next video, I will have my January cozy reset for you. I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.